This is Epic Groupcast. I'm Anthony, and I am joined today by Jeremy. Jeremy, how was your week?
Oh, great.
That's good. That's good. Joining us also today is no one, because it's half a crew today. So for today's show, we're just going to run through the news of what's happened in this past week, or recently announced in the world of geekdom. Kevin Smith, Jeff Johns, and Stephen Amell will be doing voice work for the upcoming Lego Batman 3. I believe it's called Beyond Gotham, maybe? Have you seen any of these films, Jeremy? The Lego Batman?
I believe it's a game, isn't it?
There's also movies.
I haven't seen the movies.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of interested in this. I haven't seen the movies. I've seen bits and pieces of the movies. I think mostly Lego Batman 2, Heroes Unite, or whatever it was. My son likes that movie, so he plays it a lot. I'm interested to see Lego Kevin Smith. He's going to actually be Kevin Smith, and Jeff Johns will be himself. For those of you who don't know, Jeff Johns is a comic book writer, most famous for doing Green Lantern, bringing Hal Jordan back. Stephen Amell, however, will be doing Green Arrow's voice. No surprise there.
That makes sense.
But no, I'm glad that they contacted Stephen Amell about doing this. I mean, he's very enthusiastic about Green Arrow, and so I'm glad that he got the opportunity instead of them casting somebody else. Moving on, Adam Sandler is going to produce and star in 4 films for Netflix. Have you heard of this?
I did read that.
Do you have any idea what kind of films these are going to be? I'm going to assume they're comedies, but...
Well, if you call what he does comedy. Yes.
Once upon a time, he did something similar to comedy.
Yes. Actually, his last few movies haven't been that bad. There was a stretch for...
Oh, yes.
Where there were some really bad ones.
Yes.
I haven't played the twins, the girl and the boy. That was...
This is terrible. Was it Jack and Jill?
Jack and Jill, yes. That was just...
Awful.
Yeah. There was a few other ones in that same time frame. But the grown-ups movies were funny, and I thought Blended was pretty funny.
Okay. I haven't seen hardly anything he's done lately, just because he got in that big rut of films that I did not care about. I really liked Billy Madison. You know, if these are going to be low budget films similar to what he first started doing, I'd probably be interested in seeing them. I don't know. It's on Netflix, so I'll probably watch at least one of them before it's all
I'm
said
sure
and
it'll
done.
be several years before we see even one of them. So
Yeah, that's true. Star Wars Rebels. Did you by any chance see Star Wars Rebels?
I did watch it. It was on Friday night, and yeah, they'll call it a movie, but it's really just the first 2 episodes of the series.
Oh, so it's an extra long pilot?
Pretty much. I mean,
Okay.
it was just an hour on television, so 42 minutes or ish.
Okay. Well, before that episode even aired, they had already been renewed for a second season. So they've got a little bit of faith in their product, so hopefully it'll be good. Was it good? Was it enjoyable? I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
It was different than what I was used to, because I'm used to Star Wars, the Clone Wars, and it's not nearly as dark.
Oh.
It's definitely geared more towards younger kids.
Yeah.
I mean, not like little kids, but it's geared younger than Clone Wars was.
Okay.
It's more colorful and a few more jokes. But I mean, it was enjoyable, it was interesting, and it's interesting to be in the Star Wars universe for me, and anything really. So
Right, yeah. Anything in that universe is enjoyable to me.
a few things kind of annoyed me though. The clone trooper, the clones didn't have the same voice.
Oh.
I didn't notice it. It seemed to me like they didn't have the same voice as each other,
Oh, really?
and they definitely didn't have the same voice as the guy from Clone Wars. They didn't get the same actor.
Right. But they're definitely clones. They're not...
They just call them stormtroopers, but I mean they're
Okay, because I wasn't 100% sure that the stormtroopers were...
clones.
Yeah.
But it's so close after
Episode 3.
After episode 3 that I think it has to be. I mean, I guess it didn't have to be, but it seems like they would have just used... They had all the clones anyway, so why would you turn them off and send them nowhere?
Yeah, I always wondered about that. I know whenever Lucas re-released Star Wars for the umpteenth time, he replaced Boba Fett's voice. but not the stormtroopers. So I just always assumed that it was his intention to the stormtroopers different, either volunteers or something along those lines, but I wasn't sure. Warner Brothers, they're all set to reboot I Am Legend. Does anyone care? Huh?
For the fourth time?
For the fourth time, yes. I saw the Will Smith film. I mostly saw it for the Batman vs. Superman poster that was up in, was it Times Square?
Yeah.
And so...
that's the only one I've seen. I didn't watch either of the old ones.
So. The older ones. But they're dead set to sell this thing. I don't know.
When was that, 2006, 7?
Probably around then, yeah. I think Superman Returns has already been out, and it came out in 2006, so...
I think it was 2007 or early 8. I don't know. It was probably summer of 2007.
Yeah, I don't really remember, but they've got the plans. Now, whether or not they do it or not, who knows?
I saw the story, and a lot of people were complaining. Of course, some people didn't know there were 2 prior movies to that.
Oh.
Because they said, hopefully it's better than the original, or make it more like the original than the Will Smith one.
Oh,
because there was 2 before Will Smith. At least 2 that I know of.
Right.
It's an old story, so it could be more than that.
Right. Okay, are you aware that I believe it's Warner Brothers is making a film Skull Island? Yes. It'll be kind of the origins of King Kong, maybe even a prequel. Tom Hiddleston will be in that. Well, Netflix is developing their own King Kong. It will be a King Kong animated series set in 2050. I don't know if Skull Island will have a later date or if it will be set in the past, like the Peter Jackson King Kong. But it is interesting to think about. I'm sure my kids will watch this. Any thoughts on King Kong? Are you a King Kong fan?
It was alright. It was a little long, but I mean, it was interesting enough.
Well, what about the monster in general?
Yeah.
Will you watch Skull Island?
Probably. I mean, Peter Jackson's producing, and he wants Guillermo del Toro to direct it.
Oh, really?
So it's the same as The Hobbit, pretty much. He'll be busy, and Peter Jackson will go ahead and direct it and make it 2 movies. Or maybe 3.
I didn't know Peter Jackson was working on the Skull Island.
Yeah, he's producing, I believe. He's the executive producer, as far as I know.
Well, they've got Hiddleston, so I'll probably watch it just for that. Fans of Community are sad to hear that Yvette Nicole Brown is leaving. She's going to care for her ailing father. I hate to hear that. I liked her on the show. I will miss her. I'll miss her character. I hate to see people leave that show, especially when they're so close to their 6th season.
Yeah, there's only 13 episodes left.
Yeah,
maybe a movie, but
yeah, I don't think she's going to appear any in this season. Oh. I don't think.
I've not seen anything of when it's coming or anything. I know it's going to be on Yahoo Screen,
right?
But I haven't seen any time frame for when it's going to be on.
I haven't either. I'm excited. I can't wait because I loved Community. It is sad to see the people leave. I know she has more important things, so it's good that she's able to get that taken care of. I was sad to see Troy leave.
Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover. I blanked there for a minute.
Especially since he hasn't done anything since.
Right. That's not true. He's going to be voicing Miles Morales in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon for 1 episode.
Oh, so that's about 4 hours of work total.
Right. I don't know. It might be a 2-parter, but I don't know. Do you know Miles Morales?
Nope.
He's the Ultimate Spider-Man in comics, and he is, I believe he's half black, half Puerto Rican. He was developed a few years ago to replace that universe's Peter Parker had died, and he took his place. He was also bitten by a spider. I don't know if it's technically radioactive. It was one the Oscorp had worked on, though. And so his powers are a little bit different than Peter's, but it's pretty much the same thing. And he's a lot younger. I think he's 13. So not much of a Spider-Man. More like a Spider-Lad. But he's got a pretty big following. So Zombieland 2 is in the works.
Fast-tracked, I believe.
Is it fast-tracked?
I think so, yes.
They had an Amazon series that they were going to do.
But this is a pilot and it didn't end up getting picked up.
Yeah, it did not work out for him. I am excited to see Zombieland 2. I'm kind of curious as to who's going to be in Zombieland 2. It had, Emma Stone and
Woody
Jesse
Harrelson.
Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson. So I don't know if any of those characters will be returning. Who was the little sister? Do you remember?
Was it Chloe Moretz?
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen that. I am excited. I like zombies, so I like zombie movies. So I will definitely watch it. That's good to know. Warner Brothers is developing a Rush Hour TV series. Think they'll get Chris Tucker? I mean,
what's he doing? Anything else either? So
wasn't he in a movie not too long ago? I forget. It seems like he popped up in something, but maybe I'm wrong. Fox is going to develop a big TV series based on the Tom Hanks film of the same name. I don't know if that's a whole TV series worth of story, but they're going to take a shot at it. Did you watch the original, the Tom Hanks film?
I have seen it many a time.
I don't know. I've seen it a couple times, but it's been years. Guardians of the Galaxy, the soundtrack, Awesome Mix Volume 1, recently reached gold, and now it's getting a vinyl album that will be out early next year. It'll be available on, I want to say, mondotees.com. Now, it's not really that new for soundtracks, or for any CD today to get vinyl, but this is probably a new territory for Marvel, don't you think?
Yeah, probably.
Will you run out and buy a record player for this?
I will not.
It's got some really neat album artwork. It might be worth picking up just for the album. Next bit is about a man that I know you love, Jeremy. It is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Recently, it was announced that he will be the lead in the Baywatch film.
Sweet.
I guess they've actually been working on this for a while. I had heard about a Baywatch film years ago. And then I guess they even had one script that was going to use David Hasselhoff and Pamela Anderson in the film. They got to return as their characters. But there's no word yet what the script's going to end up being. Do you want to see The Rock in the Baywatch trunks?
No, not really.
Not really? The Rock is getting so massive. Like, he's entertaining. He is an entertainer. I will give him that. He's getting so big. Some of these roles I don't know if he's going to fit into, just because he's such a large man.
Yeah, I don't see a muscle-bound guy like that swimming.
Well, that's true.
Or saving somebody from drowning. So.
Right.
Not that that really happened that much in that show, but...
I hope that he is the David Hasselhoff character. What was his name? Do you remember David Hasselhoff's name in the show?
Not at all.
It's been so long since I've seen that TV series. The good thing is it was always full of beautiful women. That was one area where it never let you down.
Mitch.
That was his name. Mitch. What? Did he have a last name? Yeah. Mitch and his son of Mitch.
I don't know.
Yeah, we won't worry about it. This week in television, briefly, we want to cover some of the things that we've watched. Family Guy. Did you watch I believe it was the first episode of the season of Family Guy? Did you get a chance to check that out?
I did not check that out.
I did. I have to admit, I haven't watched Family Guy in years. But I watched it because it was a crossover episode with The Simpsons. And it was which it's odd. I haven't watched The Simpsons in even longer than Family Guy. But the episode was an hour long, and it was enjoyable. I liked that they crossed over as many characters as they could from both shows. That was kind of interesting. Brooklyn Nine-Nine came back. That's one of Jordan's shows that he loves. I recently got caught up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think it took me about 2 days.
Yeah, it's pretty... Well, half-hour show.
It's half-hour show. Not too bad. It was good. It was a good return. Just as funny as last season.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Any surprises for you in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, or was it pretty much what you were expecting?
Pretty much what I was expecting. I mean, it's really good Andy Samberg, funny show.
Right.
A little cleaner than he's normally known for, so.
Yeah, that's for sure. Gotham, we got to see our second episode of Gotham, and I am still not loving the show. What about you?
I enjoy parts of it.
Right, yeah, that's my thing.
But I'm pretty sure that Bruce Wayne's here to stay, and...
Oh, yeah.
That's the part I don't like, is I don't think that he needs to be checked in on every...
episode.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Selena Kyle scratching that guy's eyes out?
Seems a little harsh for whatever she is, 11 or 12-year-old.
Right. Yeah, it was a little unbelievable. It was somewhat gory though, but they didn't actually show her do it.
Yeah.
Just the result of what had happened.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne's listed in 6 episodes so far, and Ben McKenzie only listed in 1 more than that. So he's definitely here
to stay.
That's all they probably have done.
I think that Alfred's just really harsh.
Yeah,
he has no business raising a child. Just on this show, anyway. Also, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had their 2nd episode, and I actually enjoyed it. It's really surprised me this season. I mean, I've even heard other shows that do something similar to what we do, but better, have commented on how terrible Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is. But so far, I'm impressed.
Yeah, season 2 has been a lot better. Well, it started off a lot better.
Yeah, it's a lot better start. That's the thing, is they had episodes here and there in season 1 that were really great, and then their lows are bad.
Yeah.
Their highs are good, their lows are really bad. But so far, I think they've been better than anything that was in season 1. But that's my personal opinion on that. I want to talk briefly about another TV show titled Selfie. It had, is it John Cho?
Yeah, Kumar. Or yeah,
Harold. It had John Cho and Karen Gillan are the stars of this show. Karen Gillan was one of the Doctor's companions on Doctor Who, and she's by far one of my favorites on the show. So I had to at least give this show a chance. I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it. But the idea of the show is she lives her life in social media, is obsessed with all of her followers and all that. Very concerned about how she looks. And then one day, problems arise, and she realizes she has no friends. That the only one there for her is Siri. So she works for this company, and she's the lead in sales, but she goes to John Cho's character because he's in the spin department. And he had recently got a children's nasal spray back on the market that the side effects were causing demonic hallucinations. So she thought if he could pull that off, that he could help turn her around. So he's there to improve upon her image, and I really think that he took the job just for the challenge, you know? Honestly, I think this show would have made a better rom-com than a TV series. I don't see how they're going to drag this out, her becoming a better person. But it all kind of tied up nice and neat by the end of the first episode. So I don't see how they're going to get very far with this.
Yeah, the whole idea seems stupid to me with such a temporary term anyway.
Right, yeah.
It's going to be gone soon. Hopefully.
Hopefully. It saddens me, though, because I really do. I like her. She was just in Guardians of the Galaxy. She was Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy. So I hate to see her take something that's not going to work out as well for her as, Guardians of the Galaxy or Doctor Who, for that matter. Jeremy, did you watch Grace Point?
I did not. I still may give it a shot, but I just didn't have time this week.
Okay. Well, we will cover Grace Point another day then. I did watch it. It was okay. They set up a little bit of mystery. I don't want to spoil too much for you since you haven't seen it yet. But
I saw lots of trailers for the British version.
Oh, yeah.
And because it was on BBC America, I believe, and I saw lots of commercials for it. And it was interesting looking. But now they've Americanized it. And
right.
Changed the name. It was something else on the British version. But
oh, yeah.
Because it's the town's name, I think, right?
Yeah. They've got David Tennant. Pretty much the lead.
He played the lead in the British version also.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I did not know that. He's actually Scottish, but he's not too bad with his American accent. So I thought that was interesting, but there's a woman in the town who has a British accent. So I just thought, why does he have to have an American accent? Like, we get people here from all nations. Why does it matter if he has an American accent or not? But I guess they felt it was important to the show.
Well, if he's a detective, so he's probably been on the force for a long time. Maybe
he's actually new. He just recently hired in, so he came from a bigger city. He went to. They don't get into it, but they mention that he's there at Grace Point because to take it more easy. I guess he had a bad life in the city or a bad case. I'm assuming.
So it's like Hot Fuzz.
Maybe. Anyway, on that note, I think that we're done for this week, unless you have any other shows that jump down at you.
Just the ones I've been watching. Blacklist was good.
Blacklist was good.
Person of Interest was good. It's kind of... They're kind of starting over. Because they're...
Persons of Interest?
Yeah, it's getting back... The first several episodes have been kind of back to the procedural part of the show. Because the big derailment of the end of Season 3, the whole plot, season building up at the end of Season 3, really took them off what they could do.
Okay.
So this is kind of them getting back to that.
Right.
While keeping in mind the bad thing that happened.
Getting back in the swing of things then.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say about Blacklist, have you noticed Berlin, the man who plays Berlin on Blacklist, is going to be appearing in Arrow as the new Count Vertigo.
Mm.
So that'll be interesting. I don't know how much he'll be on either of the shows. I don't know after the last episode of Blacklist if he'll be back. I would think that he would be, but there's no guarantee that his character will be seen.
Yeah, it may not need to be.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm sure Count Vertigo won't be on Smallville or
Arrow very long.
Arrow very long, yeah.
Or for multiple episodes. It should be here and there, probably.
Probably. But that's going to wrap it up for us for this week. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and like and subscribe on YouTube. Bye.
See ya.